right now. You have to quiet down this message, you have to stop it. That way you will repattern your breathing. You will do a new pattern which will be established in 4 weeks. It will be established and become your new normal. And you will bring your breathing back to its normal, nature-given way. It's not something which is invented, it's just bringing breathing back to normal as it's supposed to. Okay, so for the sake of first practical trial, you already tried it. So you can get out and open your eyes and stop the exercise. The real deep relaxation is starting from about 5 to 7 minutes, and the best practice is to practice in the beginning at least 15-20 minutes in a row. Now, to get the repattern of the breathing happening, you need to practice like this at least 1 hour a day. It seems to be a lot and kind of scary. How do I do it 1 hour a day? But think about it. You can practice anywhere. You can practice while driving. You can practice while going on the public transit. You can practice while waiting for somebody. You can practice while you're doing some house chores. You can practice anytime. So you can gain like 5 minutes there, 10 minutes there, 15 there, then you can do one for 20 or 40 minutes, and in the end of the day, to get 1 hour, it's just like that. No problem with that. When you understand it, you can practice this technique and this breathing, or rather non-breathing, or homeopathic breathing, or quiet Siberian Qigong. You can practice it anywhere where you don't need to talk. When you talk, you cannot practice it. That's about it with the lecture. So, any other questions? You had some questions.
Yeah, Ted, you said to not move while we were breathing. Try not to move. But
No. It's not about not to move. It's the way the breathing is going that if you practice it properly, the side observer will not see any moves, either of the chest or the stomach.
But I can feel my stomach moving.
It's okay, that's good. That's
Okay.
right. In the beginning, because you just started, right?
Yeah, so
In about 2-3 weeks, you will be actually breathing without anything moving.
now, you know the little gap on the in-breath?
Yeah.
How far of a breath inwards do we take? When do we know when to choke?
It's stop. It's not really choking. It's just
Stop
you
it.
stop it about 5-7% earlier than it's supposed to happen.
5-7%?
It's very tiny amount. The reason why you're doing it in such a tiny installation is that the breathing is very deep and profoundly connected to the very deep levels of the brain. It's one of the deepest reflexes around here. So you really cannot push on it. You can only teach it slowly by gradually training it. If you push on it, it will backfire by breathing back, inhaling again, because it have these qualities of keeping it as is. It's very important. Breathing is important, right?
Yeah.
So it has this very important quality that the center of the breathing is try to keep it as it is. So if you push on it a little bit harder than 5-10%, or slight shortage of breathing, then it will refire back on and you will the session will be lost.
And for the out breath, let it go as natural?
For now, yes.
And let it go right to the end of the breath, for the out breath?
For now, yes, but for the next practice, you just make it a little bit slower than usual.
Just slower than usual. Okay.
So again, a little bit of adding there, then adding pause, a little slower than usual, and then you will feel that all of a sudden you have this
Urge
shortage of breath and urge. That means that you did correctly.
Okay, I had it, yeah.
So in yoga as well, we have some breathing with different nostril. For example, we put the fingers here and doing breathing with that for a long time. Inhale and then exhale. So they are not good anymore for us.
It's
I
a
told you
bit
that
different.
yoga is a system exempt from that
Distance.
because it's a whole system and it's taught as a whole system.
Mm.
Now, if you practice this breathing for more than 2-3 months, you would understand a lot about yoga, martial arts, because all the martial arts and yoga are using this, but they're not teaching you as I'm teaching you now. It's teaching is hidden inside. It's there, but it's not pronounced like I'm pronouncing to you straight and correctly. It's there. You will get the same results, just very slow. I would imagine that any person who practiced any kind of martial arts would be interested in this breathing. I was actually approached one time when I was active practitioner back home by the Secret Services, and they asked me to develop a system for their combat, and that they would be able to withstand radiation and pain and whatever. And I refused because I realized that they're crazy. They're already doing crazy things, and I'm going to give them a powerful weapon in their hands, one more. They already have a lot, so I refused. I said, no, I can't do it. But as I said, today in this lecture, in the seminar, we're going to scratch the surface. The more you practice it, the more you understand, would realize and understand the largeness of this knowledge and the vast implication of this knowledge.
Do you breathe like this?
All the time.
The breathing that you are talking about is called Anuloma Viloma, and it is designed in yoga just to prepare you for the yogic practice. It's not even pranayama. You're not working with prana at all. You truly work with your breathing. It's also called polishing your scalp, meaning you polish your sinuses. You clear up the sinuses with this one. Nothing else.
Alright, so I'm done for now. Let's do something different and then we'll do the practical thing.
You know what I noticed?
What?
If you look at these numbers in the first column, CO2, all the percentage, when I give my lecture on water, funny, I get exactly the same numbers. So when the human person is born, the pH of water in the blood is 7.2. And when we die, it's 5.2.
Yeah.
That's it. And here's the number of CO2.
There's probably some correlation. Just pay attention on the top of this table. This is the original table which was actually drawn by the Dr. Buteyko himself. Lately it was changed and they raised it out of state of consciousness from the table, not to offend medical authorities or people, I don't know. So if this practiced properly, you will get easily to that norm. Then it will be hard to go higher because it's really needed a serious exercise. But norm is already very comfortable and so good that all this is worth trying. But if you go higher and you would achieve any of those stages, you will see that it is not a breathing exercise, it's really a spiritual exercise. It's changing all of you, changing a lot of things. And it's not only about carbon dioxide and oxygen. There is third gas, right? Nitrogen, which is present in there in huge quantities. So after here, after this norm, high up, just for you to know that the body has two different energy systems. One system, you know, it's oxygenating system. It's a so-called Krebs cycle, where the glucose gets oxygenated and with water, presence of water, and getting energy. There is a second system which is more ancient. It was created before this system, before oxygen, before that catastrophe probably. It's called glycolysis. It's a system when the energy created without oxygen is created with nitrogen and urine. Basically, urine can give you energy. But for this, you need to practice that high levels of carbon dioxide. And then it will be also high levels of nitrogen. And nitrogen is capable of creating very powerful internal remedies, which is depleting completely the free radicals. But that's a different story. It's just for you to understand that this is not that simple. There is much more to it. So that whole system, it cannot make you run for 5 kilometers, but it can sustain you without moving for a year without using any oxygen at all. And that's what yogi does. They go into the grave, they close them, and they do not breathe for a certain time. They using certain knowledge and procedure, they open the grave, get them out, and revive them again. That's what they do. They're using that Asian system, non-oxygenic. They still breathe because they don't have heartbeat. Heart stops. Does that mean that the bloodstream stops? No, because there is a lot of more pumps. The heart is just one general pump. There are more other pumps. Liver is actively pumping blood by itself. All vessels have muscles, they're all pumping. So there will be a certain bloodstream, but that person would not need oxygen. Certainly that person cannot run a marathon, but that person can survive without no oxygen. That's just opening a new perspective of traveling to Mars or conquering the universe. If you would learn this, you can put people in that state and they can travel to 2,000 years and emerge somewhere in the next galaxy.
Let's do it.
Well, they have to eat, don't they? No?
No, you're going to eat nitrogen. You're going to be like a plant. You're going to consume nitrogen and create biological compounds.
Where's the nitrogen coming from?
From there, there's 2/3 of nitrogen in there.
Oh, okay.
Air is a mixture of the oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. Everything else is tiny bit. There's mostly major components. That's what plants do. Plants take nitrogen and put it into the soil, and then soil became fertile.
And they take carbon.
Yeah, the clovers. I showed you the clover.
Yeah.
The clover does that. The clover takes nitrogen from the air through the special mechanics only clover capable of is putting it back into the ground as fertilizer. Clover. If you unroot the clover, you will see on the roots there's very little tiny bulbs. That's where these things hidden, where the nitrogen getting into the ground.
What mechanism in that breath is giving us more CO2? Is it the slowness of it that's keeping it in there longer?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
what's holding it in there
and
longer.
relaxation.
And the relaxation.
Because when you relax diaphragm,
Yeah.
what you do, you increase effectively the lower portion of the lungs in their size. And because they are much larger there is a lot of ventilation going there without any visible moving.
We even have that plant.
Yeah, that's the one actually.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I'm not taking it out.
Yeah, I was thinking, why is she keeping it up? And, okay, that's kind of Yes, go to it right there, blooming. See the white?
Yes.
That says blooming. When it's blooming, it's no good to eat because it's becoming so spicy. So what you do, if you plant it somewhere, you come to it and you rip off the blooms, so it will not become spicy.
What is that about the hands?
That's the rule to memorize how to properly relax and do this exercise you just learned. So that's what we're going to learn first on the practical. It's just a memorization rule. It's just to help you memorize. So that's the reason for this rule is that a lot of people, when they hear about that, they start with holding the breath forcefully.
Yes.
And this is no good because, as I said, you have to be very, very gentle with this. To repattern the breath, you cannot push on it because it backfires. It will force things back to normal. whatever was normal at that point.
Yeah.
So this is the rule to memorize it. Slowly reduce volume and intensity of breathing by relaxing diaphragm and all other muscles until slow, slight shortage of breath, slight shortage of breath. But that slight shortage of breath has to be present in all exercise. If it's not present there, then it's not this quiet Siberian Qigong, it's something else you do.
And after you, when you feel the slight shortage, do you just continue?
You just continue, go ahead, and in about 20 minutes, body getting used to it, and then that shortage of breath is not a nuisance anymore. Because you're gonna have more oxygen.
Yeah.
Understand this, that the breathing center does not work from oxygen. If you have a lot of oxygen or not a lot of oxygen, the breathing center does not feel that. The breathing center works from the carbon dioxide. When your carbon dioxide is growing, breathing center thinking that there is not a lot of oxygen now, you need to breathe.
Right.
So you need to reteach it, reprogram it. Breathing center cannot feel the amount of oxygen whatsoever. It only feels the amount of carbon dioxide.
What are the effects of this breathing? What are we going to feel? Just,
We'll discuss it in the practical seminars.
Can I fly? Will it make me fly? No.
I doubt it. Well, if you buy the Lufthansa ticket.
Do you fly when you dream?
Yeah, I can fly when I dream.
So light. I used to dream more about 2 or 3 years ago. I think I was more relaxed, but recently, no, I don't dream.
No,
And I
it's
just
actually the
remember I was
opposite.
doing
If
just-
your consciousness is rising to higher levels, you don't dream, because there is no need. The dream is when you do not process experiences and brain putting in for later, for the night time. Because it cannot process everything at
But
once.
I remember I was like
That's what
aware
dream
that
is.
I
So
was
if
just
your consciousness is
flying
at a higher level, you don't have dream. There's no need, nothing to process. You're okay with everything. Everything is perfect.
Now, if I'm having like issues in the material world, like fights, problems, major issues, can I go into this breathing and try to, like if something I can't get out of, like I'm having this huge family conflict right
But
now.
remember, I gave you homicide.
Yeah, so go home, sit on
Go
that idea,
home and practice opposite breathing. Because
and think about the family issues, or just
I don't want you to think in a way the brain thing, but you can imagine it, that you can know about it. Don't try to think about thoughts.
Okay.
Because thoughts will even confuse you even more.
Yeah.
You just take it, okay, I have this challenge now, okay, let's breathe it through this thought.
Okay.
How's the weather